Hello. Are we live? We are live. Welcome, guys. This is your Thursday edition of Weather Where You Are. I have spent the last 3 minutes watching this penguin video, okay? I don't know why, but there's something about penguins that makes me unreasonably happy. Look how fat they are, just sliding down that bump. I mean, I could watch them all day. If you were wondering what I was doing before Weather Where You Are, it was watching penguin videos, all right? How do you spend your time? Hopefully more reasonably than that. All right, let's get you started with the rainfall on the month. We have not had a lot of rain this month, 0.73 inches. Usually we get up to this point about 1.65, so we're about half of where we should be. It's just been a really dry month. We're still well above average on the year, almost 5 inches above average on the year. But the thing is, we're not really going to see much rain here in the coming 5 days. Look, like a 0, 10, 20% max chance of rain. This is the potential rain through Sunday, and this is the weather model. This is GFS. You can see most areas not going to pick up a single drop of rain, so you definitely need to be thinking about your plants, okay? And if we continue to see this dry stretch and we continue to see 90s, which it looks like that is going to be the story in the next 10 days, we could start getting ourselves into a little bit of a drought situation. This is the drought monitor. It was updated. Why did it zoom out? I don't like that. All right. It was updated today. Let me see if I can go back. It's going to zoom out again, but just wanted to give you an idea. The yellow area, that's a D1, just dry, which has expanded from last week. It now includes most of Metro. So we're not in a drought, but we are pretty dry, and I'm not seeing much potential for rain over the coming week. In fact, this is the precipitation outlook for next week. So it's June 18th through 22nd, which I believe is next Tuesday through next Saturday. So it's going to stay dry through the end of the weekend, and you can see in the eastern United States, southeast, looks drier than average next week as well. So by the end of next week, we're going to definitely need some rain. I'll just put it that way. If you're wondering what's in my hand, it's a lollipop. Grape flavor till I die, okay? If you don't like grape flavor, then we'll get along, because you know what? I'll eat the grapes. Okay, our humidity level is still low. That humidity is going to increase as we head into the weekend, and so our temperatures. So it is going to get hot. Today our high is 91. This is going to be the warmest day of the week. Hottest temperature of the year was Sunday. We hit 93. So by tomorrow, it's going to get hot outside, all right? I don't know why the Futurecast model is not in here. Looks like it has been changed, but what I can tell you is essentially we are going to see not a single drop of rain. Again, take a look at this, looking like no rain, okay? Let's talk about the tropics. So we're about 2 weeks into hurricane season. This storm system, which crossed over Florida, it brought significant rain. It still is dropping a ton of rain. Videos coming out of Sarasota, videos coming out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, like significant flooding there. Sarasota saw 4 inches of rain in 1 hour. That's a 1 in 1,000 year event there. So they've been getting slammed with a ton of rain. We're not going to see any impact from this system. It's going to move into the Atlantic. It has a very low end 20% chance of becoming a named storm. So it's probably not going to become a tropical depression or named storm. However, there is a system that's going to start kind of teetering around in the southern Gulf of Mexico near the Yucatan Peninsula. That'll be by the weekend, and NOAA, National Hurricane Center, has a 40% chance of it developing in the next 7 days. So this could actually be our first named storm of the season. Just wanted to give you some perspective. You can see that potential rainfall with that system high, very high for the southern Gulf of Mexico in the next 7 days. So Alberto will be the first named storm of the season. As you can see, we're still in the very beginnings of hurricane season, which doesn't really start to ramp up. We really see a major uptick in activity in August once the ocean water starts to really warm. But here's the thing. Ocean water warm, like sea surface temperatures are the warmest they've ever been for this time of year across the entire globe, which does not bode well for hurricane season, and that's why NOAA has predicted a hyperactive season. So even though we don't usually see that ramp up in activity until August. We could get it a lot earlier this year just because it is so warm on the sea surface temperatures. So here's your names just to remind you. Alberto, which we could have sometime next week. Beryl, Chris, Debbie, Ernesto, Francine, and then Gordon. Okay? Look at the high temps today, y'all. Dang, El Paso at 109 degrees. Whew, it's hot. Look, 90 even in Chicago. 98 Salt Lake City. So it's hot across the entire country. That is due to this high pressure. It's called a Bermuda high. We see these high pressures form pretty frequently in summer. It's a very typical pattern that we see. When we get these high pressures, Bermuda highs specifically, they extend through the entire atmosphere. So sometimes you can have a high pressure at upper levels and a low at lower levels, and that'll cause that'll be those days where it starts out sunny and then we see the widespread thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. But because this high extends through the entire atmosphere, we have sinking air through the entire atmosphere. That caps all precipitation, so you can't get any rain, right? That's going to be the case. That's the reason we're not going to see any rain. Also, think about it like a pot, like a top on top of a boiling pot of water. It just traps all the heat in the low levels of the atmosphere. Also, the sinking air kind of traps pollution near the Earth's surface. It's the reason that we once again have an air quality alert in effect today. This is the third day we've had it. Rodney and I were talking about earlier, we probably think we're going to have that air quality alert in effect through the weekend just because we're under that high pressure and it is going to be so hot, okay? Here are your forecast highs for tomorrow. Whoo, baby. 95 in Atlanta, 97 in LaGrange, 96 in Thomaston, 98 in Eatonton, 93 in Gainesville. So that heat wave really takes hold tomorrow, and it maxes out on Saturday. Saturday, I'm not ruling out triple digits down towards central Georgia. Like Eatonton, you could hit 100 degrees, okay? 98 in Atlanta. This isn't dangerous heat because the humidity is at acceptable levels, okay? Dew points are in the low 60s. If dew points are in the low 70s, we would certainly see a heat advisory. We may still see a heat advisory. Heat advisory criteria feels like temperatures at 105. I think we're going to be just below that through the weekend, okay? Father's Day Sunday, still really hot. We're still talking mid-90s, possibly even some upper 90s stringed in there. Can't rule out a stray thunderstorm on Sunday, but overall, it does look relatively dry. If you are headed to the Truist Park, okay, I would recommend, if you're trying to figure out which game to go to, Friday. Because Friday will be a night game, so most of it will be played after the sundown. First pitch is still 91 degrees outside at 7:20. But then temperatures will fall into the 80s. Saturday, first pitch at 4:10, 97 degrees. Yikes. And on Sunday, Sunday's gonna be brutal. 135, the sun's directly over you, 93 degrees at first pitch, and temperatures will continue to climb from there into the mid-90s. So it is certainly going to be hot at Truist Park this weekend. Here's your feels like temperatures. 97 tomorrow, triple digits Saturday and Sunday. So my advice to y'all is just, you don't need to avoid being outside, but if you are going to be outside, take breaks from sunshine. Drink a lot of water, get in the shade, have a way to stay cool, have a handheld fan with you, that kind of stuff. Just because this is our first time experiencing this heat in almost 10 months, so it's going to be a little shock to the system, okay? Okay, that's it. That's it for weather where you are today. Wanted to just take you through kind of the rainfall, the hurricanes, and the heat. Not looking at a lot of rain over the next 7 days, and we are looking at a lot of heat, so I will be staying inside, eating lollipops and watching penguin videos. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow, 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Atlanta News First. Guys, don't forget, we are on 7 and 8 a.m. on Peachtree TV. We have a good time. I hope you'll join us. I'll see you then.